Right, so let's finally get onto this. I've been meaning to review this for a few months now, as you can see by possibly collected dust on it. But now, finally, a few days before it comes out, you can finally get a bit of a sneak peek on it. Structure Deck Cyber Strike, or as it's called in Japanese, the successor of the Cyber School, as in the cyber style of dueling as seen in GX. What that actually means in this case is a bit of a confusing statement, considering it could be one of two people, but it's probably the nerdier one. Anyway, you can see the Cyber Dark Dragon piggybacking on the Cyber End Dragon here, and this is our new card, which comes in the bonus pack for this actually, and in possible different rarities. As you see, the box is shiny because unlike with the English boxes, they sort of expect you to keep these, I imagine, because as I mentioned before,
they have a lid here. This doesn't just tear apart, it's an actual lid.
You can actually close this. But let's get a bit of a sneak peek on this, shall we? There's the lineup. Sticker on mine, ignore that. Right, so let's get my knife. There's no real reason I took this long, I just, lazy. I got this in May, like when it just came out. This video is probably going to go up before any of my other unboxings, because despite the continuity error that makes, that would be better for everyone in this case. Right, so open this up. I'm going to have to do it like this way, otherwise everything's going to fall out. Albeit, oh, I was wrong. I forgot. Japanese ones open from the other side. So anyway, our contents turns out like this. One deck of cards, one bonus Secret of the Cyber School pack, and one playmat, which also, apart from having the main monster on it, as is usual in the recent releases, also doubles as the instructions of how to use this deck, and also what other things you might want. As you see, the main strategy is to release Cyber Dark Dragon to get the brand new big guy, Cyber Dark End Dragon. Japanese decks have this clip here, rather being plastic shrink wrap. I kind of prefer this because you can actually technically put this back on to store them, but it's still not the healthiest thing to do because putting it back over does kind of stress the cards. See? Right. So naturally what we have here is Cyber Dark Chimera. This is not the cover card for the deck, but it is a different sort of Cyber Dark card. You can only activate each of the first and second effects of this card name once per turn. First effect. Discard a spell or trap card from your hand to activate this effect. Take one power bond from your deck and add it to your hand. For this turn, you cannot use anything but dragon type or machine type cyber monsters as fusion materials, and when you fusion summon once only, you may remove from play one monster in your graveyard to use as a fusion material. Number 2. You can activate this when this card is sent to the graveyard. You may send a Cyber Dark monster that doesn't have the same name as one already in the graveyard from your deck to the graveyard. Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting way to get more of them in the grave, so you can use Overload Fusion. Next we have Cyber Dark World, continuous spell card. You can only activate one card of this name once per turn, and you can only use the second effect of this card once per turn. First effect. As part of activating this card, take one Cyber Dark monster from your deck that doesn't exist in your graveyard, and add it to your hand. Effect number 2. You can activate this during your own main phase. Summon one Cyber Dark monster. It doesn't say special summon, it's just you get one extra summon if it's a Cyber Dark monster. I can understand why that's limited to once per turn. Effect number 3. When you successfully summon or special summon a Cyber Dark monster and its own effect activates, that allows you to take a monster from your graveyard to equip to it, you can instead equip one of your opponent's graveyard's monsters. I must say, these effects seem very, very supportive. Next we have an interestingly shiny card. This is not a normal holographic, but the effect does show up well on the camera. Attachment Cyburn. This card's third effect can only be used once per turn. Effect number 1. Target one dragon or machine type cyber monster on your side of the field and you can activate this effect. You can equip this card from your hand or your field onto that targeted monster. Effect number 2. A monster equipped with this card has its attack raised by 600 points. Effect number 3. When this card is sent to the graveyard when it's equipped to a monster, you may special summon a dragon or machine type cyber monster from your graveyard. That effect does target though. Eternal Cyber, quick play spell card. This card name's first and second effects can only be used once per turn. First effect, you can target a machine type cyber fusion monster in your graveyard and activate this effect. Either return that monster to the extra deck, or ignoring its summoning conditions, special summon it. Oh my god, it's Monster Reborn for Cyber End Dragon. Effect number 2. When a machine type cyber fusion monster on your side of the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, inversely you can remove this card from the graveyard. Damn. Okay, this already seems like a quite beefed up deck. What is up with this type of rarity, man? It's very interesting. It makes it look laminated. Cyber Dark Invasion. Oh my god, he's really going after that red eyes. I have to tilt this just to be able to read it properly. Effect number 1 of this continuous trap card. Once per turn, select from one of the below effects and you can activate it. You can only use each of the below effects of Cyberdark Invasion once per turn. First choice. Target one Cyberdark effect monster on your side of the field and you can activate this effect. Select one dragon or machine type monster from you or your opponent's graveyard and equip it to the targeted monster as an equip card that increases its attack by 1,000 points. Second option, you can send a card equipped to a machine type monster on your side of the field to the graveyard to activate this effect. Select one card on your opponent's side of the field and destroy it. And that's select. This does not target that destruction, it just chooses it. Insane. After that, we just have mostly the classic cards. So, a Cyber Dragon. I'm sure people have tons of these. I certainly have tons of these. I have the old tin collector one. I have the alt art one that looks darkish. You know, I've got quite a few of these, I imagine. But also, not only just with this classic card, which was always in the meta, you get alternate versions of it, such as Cyber Dragon's Vi, which if you don't know the effect is this card's name, as long as it exists in the graveyard, is treated as Cyber Dragon. Once a turn, you may show a spell card in your hand to your opponent and activate this effect. This card's name until the end phase is treated as Cyber Dragon. Third effect. During the damage step this card attacks your opponent's monster, this card's attack is increased by 300 points. Pretty decent. So many different Cyber Dragons, as this is third one. Cyber Dragon Dry. First effect. While this card is in the graveyard, its card name is treated as Cyber Dragon, same as Vi. Second effect. When this card is successfully summoned, you can activate this effect. Make the level of all Cyber Dragons on your side of the field level 5, because these ones are not. They're level 4. Turn you activate this effect, you cannot special summon anything but machine type monsters. Third effect. When this card is removed from the game, target one Cyber Dragon on your side of the field and you can activate this effect. This turn, that monster is not destroyed by battle or by card effects. Excellent. Of course, we have Cyber Dragon Fear, the fourth one. This card's second effect can only be used once per turn. Number 1, this card's card name is, while it's on the field or in the graveyard, not just in the graveyard, is treated as Cyber Dragon. Second, when you successfully summon or special summon a Cyber Dragon, you can activate this effect. Special summon this card from your hand in defense position. And just so you know, this Cyber Dragon here, summon or special summon, is not a card with Cyber Dragon in its name. It's specifically Cyber Dragon. So Cyber End Dragon wouldn't count. Third effect. As long as this card exists in the monster zone, all Cyber Dragons on your side of the field's attack and defense increase by 500 points. Cool. Cyber Dragon next year. I'm not familiar with this one, but seems a bit cybersy, but it is a machine type monster. This card's first and second effects can only be activated each once per turn. First effect, this card's name is, as long as it's on the field or in the graveyard, it's treated as Cyber Dragon, same as Fear, but not the same as Vi or Dry. Second effect, you can discard a monster card from your hand except this card to activate this effect. Special summon this card from the hand. Well, good thing that they wrote except then, otherwise that would be very cheaty and invite a lot of judges. I wonder if that ever got errated. Third, when this card is successfully normal or special summoned, target one monster in your graveyard that's attack or defense is 2,100 and a machine type monster and activate this effect. Special summon that monster. After you've activated this effect, until the end of the turn, you cannot special summon anything but machine type monsters. Perfectly fine, all good. Here's a bit of an older one. Cyber Dragon Core. This card's second and third effects, you can only activate one of either of them once per turn. Number 1, this card's name, while it's in the field in the graveyard, is treated as Cyber Dragon. Number 2, when this card is successfully summoned, just normal summoned, not special summoned, activate this effect. This is compulsory. Take a Cyber Spell or Trap or Cybernetic Spell or Trap from your deck and add it to your hand. Third, when there are only monsters on your opponent's side of the field, you can remove this card from your graveyard and activate this effect. Special summon one Cyber Dragon from your deck. That's a really good way of doing that. However, it only counts for ones that are Cyber Dragons while in your deck, so that would be normal Cyber Dragon rather than any of the others. So that might be hard to do if you only have one copy of this deck, but it's still a good way to search for it if you haven't drawn it yet, which seems unlikely considering how many cards are in this. Cyber Dragon Pilts. It's like Hertz? I don't actually know. This one's also level 1, 100, 100. Pretty weak. This card, like Cyber Dragon Core, you can only activate its second or third effects as a choice between them once per turn. First effect is, of course, while it's on the field in the graveyard, its name is treated as Cyber Dragon. Second effect is, when this card is successfully special summoned, you can activate this effect. You can change the level of this card to 5 until the end of the turn. After activating this card, until the end of the turn, you can only special summon machine type monsters. Third effect, when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can activate this effect. Take a Cyber Dragon from your deck or your graveyard apart from this card and add it to your hand. Cool. Cool. This thing's a bit older, but I'm still not familiar with it. Cyberpharos. It's got 2,100 defense, so I guess that's for the other card's effect that targeted 2,100 defense things, so 2,100 attack things. 2,100 attack is the normal Cyber Dragon attack. This card's third effect can only be used once per turn. First effect, you can special summon this card from your hand by tributing one machine type monster on your side of the field. Second effect, once per turn, during your main phase you can activate this effect. Send from your hand or field monsters that are listed on a machine type fusion monster, then you may fusion summon that monster from the extra deck. So it works just like polymerization, but specifically for machine type monsters. Number 3, when your own fusion monster is destroyed by battle, you can remove this card from the graveyard to activate this effect. Add one Power Bond from your deck to your hand. I like the amount of support for getting Power Bond, that's pretty neat. Power Bond is one of the cards that is in the pack, I believe, and can have varying rarities rather than one that's in the main deck. So we'll get to that later. Cyber Valley is a bit of an older one, but I'll run through it just so you know just how it is. Effect number 1, you can select from the below effects and activate one of them. First choice, when this card is selected as an attack target, remove this card from the game, you can activate this effect. You draw one card from your deck. After that, the battle phase is ended. See, that's not bad. That's mostly what you use it for, I guess. Second choice, target one face-up card on your side of the field as well as this card, and you can activate this effect. Remove both that card and this card from the game. Afterwards, you draw 2 cards from your deck. Not bad. Third choice, target one card in your graveyard and you can activate this effect. Remove play one card in your hand and this card on the field, and then place that targeted card on the top of your deck. So it's interesting because you only use one of these, but all of them involve removing it from the game, so I guess it's easy to understand that effect. It's not once per turn, it's just choose one of these, but if it's going to be removed from the play after doing any of them, then it's understandable. That doesn't really have to explain anything more. You're certainly not going to easily use it again after doing that. But that's pretty cool. One that came out at similar times, Cyber Phoenix, or specifically here, Cyber Phoenix. As long as this card exists in the monster zone in attack position, the effects of spell and trap cards that target one machine type monster of yours specifically are negated. Second effect, when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard from battle, you can activate this effect. You draw one card from your deck. I guess it partners sort of well with Cyber Valley because you get to draw from your deck. But again, this is more a bit one of those Cyber Dragon supports that I didn't really ever understand. It's kind of okay, but it's also the trouble of just keeping this thing alive. Here we are finally onto the Cyber Dark parts. Cyber Dark Horn, first of 3. Actually, it's the first of 5. I believe there's 2 more other than the main 3 and ignoring the Chimera we've already shown. When this card is successfully summoned, take a level 3 or lower dragon type monster from your graveyard, targeting it, and activate this effect. Equip that dragon to this card. Second effect, this card's attack is increased by the attack of the card equipped to this monster by its effect. Number 3, when this card is attack a defense position monster and has a higher attack than that defense position monster's defense points, inflict piercing damage to your opponent. Effect number 4, when this card is destroyed by battle, in exchange, destroy the card equipped to this card by its effect. So it survives if it loses battle. All of the Cyber Dark monsters are similar to that, but slightly different ways. So let's go over that. Cyber Dark Edge. Similarly, a level 3 or lower dragon type monster, equip that to this card. Its attack points do go up the same amount. Difference is, this card's third effect, this card can attack directly, but the damage applied becomes half. Other than that, it is the same. If this card would be destroyed, destroy the equipped card instead. Cyber Dark Keel, third of the main ones. Difference is the third effect. This card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, activates effect. Inflict 300 damage to your opponent. It's not really that impressive, but it is a different effect. Then the newer ones. Cyber Dark Cannon. This card is a bit different, it's got stronger attack, and it is a dragon, meaning you can equip this onto the Cyber Dark monsters. With 1600 attack, that's a big deal. This card's first and second effects can each only be used once per turn. Number 1, discard this card from your hand and you can activate this effect. Add a machine type Cyber Dark monster from your deck to your hand. Now, this specifically says Cyber Dark monster, which means it could be any of them. If there was a card called Cyber Dark and didn't say monster here, then it would mean just get Cyber Dark, but it's Cyber Dark monster, so it's any of them. Effect number 2, when a monster equipped with this card performs battle, you can activate this effect. Send a monster from your deck to the graveyard. That's very good. 1, for getting Cyber Dark monsters, but also for getting other dragons to equip this guy. In fact, one of the reasons to get multiple copies of this deck is just to get multiple copies of this guy, because it feels like a waste to just use his first effect to search for guys, when you could use multiple ones of this guy's effect in one deck. The third effect is, when this card is sent to the graveyard from being equipped to a monster, you can activate this effect, you draw 1 card. That's very good, because when this guy is sent from the graveyard to protect the thing it's equipped to, another Cyber Dark monster, you also get the bonus of recovering a card to your hand. Very good. Very good update. I love that. Next we get very alien looking Cyber Dark Claw. Also dragon monster, also perfectly good for equipping to the things. Similarly, its first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. Number 1, similarly, you can discard this card from hand to activate its effect. Take a Cyber Dark spell or trap card from your deck and add it to your hand. Slightly different. Second effect, when a monster equipped this card attacks, you can activate this effect. Send a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. That's an interesting way of doing it, because you might be able to use that Monster Reborn for Cyber End Dragon to get it for free after doing this. Actually, you might not be able to get it for free, because the rules for things special summon from the extra deck say you might have to do them officially the correct time before special summoning from the grave. So maybe it's more suited for putting Cyber End Dragon in the graveyard to make Cyber Dark End Dragon, if anything, because you'll need to equip it to Cyber Dark Dragon to make it. We'll get to that. Effect number 3. When this card equipped to a monster is sent to the graveyard, target one Cyber Dark monster in your graveyard and activate this effect. Add that monster in your hand. Good recycling, but also one of the reasons why you'd want more of these instead of just one in Singleton. Is this a new card, or is this one of the old cards that was added because it's so good? It's not really related to Cyber Dragons or Cyber Dark, but it is a very good target, as you will see. Hyok Renrin. I'm not really sure what Hyok means, but the kanji used are Comparison Wing, so I don't actually know what that means. But it is a dragon-type union monster, means it's suited for equipping to things. Once per turn, you can choose from one of the below effects and activate them. Target one face-up monster on your side of the field. Equip this card to that monster as an equipped card. When the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, inversely, destroy this card. The other choice is you can special summon this equipped card to the field. Second effect, the equipped monster's original attack becomes 1000 and during one battle phase can attack twice. Now, this is very important because original attack is only the printed attack. For things like Cyberdarks, which have their attacks increased by the things that they're equipped to, their original attack does not matter, especially because these guys have 800 attack. Reducing it to 1000 is actually a bonus. With this guy equipped to any of the main Cyberdark guys, this is automatically 2,500 double attacker for nothing. For nothing. There's no consequence. It's just free. It's just free stupid attack. Next we have interesting reprint. This is one of the Kaiju Jizukieru. Okay. Level 10 light machine type monster. You're not going to ever equip this, but these things are usually good for stopping your opponent from doing things. Effect number 1. You can special summon this card in attack position to your opponent's side of the field by attributing one of their monsters. Effect number 2. If a Kaiju monster exists on your opponent's side of the field, you can special summon this card in attack position on your side of the field, naturally, just to balance it out. Only one Kaiju monster can exist face up on your side of the field at a time. Effect number 4. When a spell trap or monster effect that targets only this card is activated, you can remove 3 Kaiju counters from you or your opponent's field and activate this effect. Negate that effect and select one card on the field and destroy it. And that is select, not target. But yes, Kaiju monsters are a bit more of a meta thing. I'm not sure of the exact use in this deck, but at least it suits the machine type theme. Again, a confusing one that's a bit more meta. Ooh, can I pronounce this? Hikoja Murokumo no Orochi. Anyway, Machine Snake, referencing to Orochi, but never mind. Level 8 monster, machine, effect 2450. This card's first and second effect, you can only activate one of them a turn, you must choose. First effect, when this card exists in the hand or the graveyard, remove from play the top 8 cards of your deck face down, and you can activate this effect. Special summon this card. You can activate this effect during your opponent's turn as well. Second effect, remove from play 3 cards from your extra deck face down and target one face-up monster on the field. You can activate this effect. Destroy that monster. Not really sure the best way to use that in this deck. Might have to read, say, some of the suggestions on the back of the playmat. But at least this is a reprint that is somewhat within the theme, but I'm not exactly sure how to use it. Here's one of the real good reprints. Real good, real simple. Gale Dogra. Insect-type monster. Pay 3,000 life points to activate this effect. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Now, why would you want to do this? What would be the advantage of doing this? Why would you pay 3,000 life points for the privilege of doing so? Well, we all know, ladies and gentlemen, because that's actually useful here. Sending Cyber End Dragon to the graveyard from the start would be very useful, and 3,000 is its attack points, so it feels like an even cost, to be honest. There's just not much to do with this card afterwards, because it's an insect. Just wait for it to die, I guess. Right, now on to the spell cards. We're actually done with the main deck's monster cards. We have Cyber Repair Plant. This is a normal spell card. You can only activate one card this name once per turn. First effect, and only effect. When a Cyber Dragon monster exists in your graveyard, choose from one of the below effects and activate them. If at the time of this card's activation, there are 3 or more Cyber Dragons in your graveyard, you can activate both of them. First choice, add one Machine Light monster from your deck to your hand. Second choice, target one Machine Light type monster in your graveyard and activate this effect. Return that Machine Light monster to the deck. Fair enough. Recovery. Get one from your deck to your hand and return one from your graveyard to your deck. I wonder if you get to choose the order you activate them, because if you put it in your deck first, you'll be able to choose it from your deck to put to your hand. But, yeah, good. Emergency Cyber. Thought this was not very related to it because of the illustration, but Emergency Cyber. Normal spell. Card of this name can only be activated once per turn. First effect. Add to your hand either a Cyber Dragon monster or a Machine Light monster that cannot be normal summoned. How specific? What else counts? What else counts that isn't actually a Cyber Dragon monster? I'll have to think about that. Second effect. When this... In the situation that this card is negated by your opponent and sent to the graveyard, discard one card from your hand to activate this effect. Add this card in the graveyard back to your hand. Oh my god, they really want you to be able to use the Emergency Cyber, don't they? Neat. Oh, here we go. It looks like Chaos form, but it's a quick play spell for Cyber Dragons. Cyber Road Fusion. Cyber Load Fusion? Cyber Road Fusion. Cyber Overload Fusion would be nice, but it's just Cyber Road Fusion. Quick play spell card with fusion in its name. Are you feeling it? Card of this name can only be activated once per turn. First effect. Special summon from your extra deck a fusion monster that requires a Cyber Dragon monster by returning monsters on your side of the field or removed from the game to their owner's decks that are listed on that monster. This turn, none of your monsters except this special summon monster can attack. Oh my god. Ridiculous. Returning monsters from the field and removed from play. To do this is why you want to remove things from play. This is why the other guy that removes things would be good, because you'll just get them back, because you'll get to use them more. An extra deck has Chimera Tech Overdragon in this deck, meaning you could just use as many as you need. Most Cyber Dragons only count as Cyber Dragons if they're on the field or in the graveyard, so... Bit of thinking to do. Here we go. Cyberdark Impact, the actual name of the booster pack that Cyberdark Dragon appeared in. First effect. Return from your hand, field, or graveyard one each of Cyberdark Horn, Cyberdark Edge, and Cyberdark Keeled to their owner's deck and fusion summon from your extra deck one Cyberdark Dragon. Neat. 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 Just when you need to fusion summon it, when you need from your hand, field, or graveyard, and they get recycled into the deck. Ridiculous. Okay, maybe you don't need multiples of this deck for recycling some cards, because this does a decent amount of recycling already, but damn, worthy of the name. Cyberdark Inferno, it's got Claw on it. This is a field spell. This card's second effect can only be used once per turn. First effect. Oh my god. Cyberdark effect monsters on your side of the field that are equipped with an equip card do not become the target of your opponent's effects and are not destroyed by your opponent's effects. Damn. Damn. Imagine having a beater on the field and it can't be destroyed by card effects, and then you destroy it finally with a higher attack point monster, and then its effect card just disappears instead. Jesus. Second effect. Target one Cyberdark monster on your side of the field and activate its effect. Return that monster to its owner's hand. Afterwards, summon a Cyberdark monster. Ah, so you get to just swap them as an extra summon right. Awesome. Or resummon it back onto the field so it can get a new thing equipped to it. Oh my god. Number 3. On the occasion that this card on the field is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can activate this effect. Add from your deck to your hand a fusion spell card or a fusion spell card. Oh, I'm going to have to explain this. One of these is written fusion like in English. The other one's written fusion as in YGO in Japanese, the Japanese word for fusion. It means either of them. Anything that would be listed as fusion in English, basically, you could take with this. It'll be interesting to see how this is written in the English release of this. Whereas it might not say fusion or fusion, it might just say fusion. But in this case, it specifically writes both of them, both YGO and fusion. Interesting, interesting. If you destroy this, you just get a free fusion card. In this case, probably that's Cyber Load Fusion. Or, as we get here, Future Fusion, the classic one-turn kill for Chimera Tech Overdragon. First effect, activate your first standby phase after this card's activation. Basically, show a fusion monster in your extra deck to you and your opponent, and then send the materials used to make it from your deck to the graveyard. Second effect. On your second standby phase after this card's activated, activate this effect. Fusion summon from your extra deck a fusion monster with the same name as the shown card in the first effect. When this card leaves the field, that monster is destroyed. When that monster is destroyed, this card is destroyed. Right, simple. This used to be used for Chimera Tech Overdragon to basically fuse your entire deck and then just wait a few turns to do it. Sorry, not wait a few turns to do it. Use Overload Fusion to do it immediately from the materials sent to the graveyard. Next we have, here we go, YGO Hahe, or Fusion Sending in a Soldier. I can't remember what it's called in English. But yes, this would count as one of the fusion cards. So activate a card of this name once per turn. Effect number 1. Show a fusion monster from your extra deck to your opponent. Special summon one fusion material for that monster from your hand or deck. The turn you activate this card, you can only summon fusion monsters from your extra deck. Cool, cool, cool. I thought it would be Union, but apparently got nothing to do with Union. It's a red herring, this image. Yes, Fusion. Next card. Ooh, another one. Okay, we've got a lot of these. This one is written YGO, but actually says in the ruby above it, Fusion tag. So this technically would be a Fusion card, not a YGO card. Because in the Japanese OCG, actually the ruby is the official name, not the kanji used to spell it. So as you can see, Amateur Sparkman, one of these guys that could be used for any fusion material. Flame Wingman is here. This effect is quite simple for this normal spell card. Effect number 1, the only effect. Target one monster on your side of the field and you activate this effect. Show one fusion monster in your extra deck to your opponent. This turn, if you use the targeted monster as a fusion material, treat that monster as the same name as the monster you showed. It's interesting here, if you want to make a more complicated fusion monster, you could already have one, so this is good for Shining Flare Wingman or something because it would require Wingman already, but you could skip the Flame Wingman to make Shining Flare Wingman in one fusion. I think that's what this is getting to. Sounds a bit of a useful card. I would have wanted it for Flame Soldier, whatever it's called. We have to combine Flame Swordsman with Dark Magician back in the day. Oh, this is a card I have one of. A very beat up one because I've got it kind of bent in a box. Machine Duplication. Effect number 1. Target one machine type monster on your side of the field with 500 attack or less. You can activate this card. Special two monsters from your deck with the same name as that face up monster. Cool, cool, cool. I'm not sure what exactly you'd use that for in this situation, because it's 500 or less and same name as monsters. We only have a singleton in this deck, so I'm not actually sure what that would be for. I might have to think about that. And actually the other option here, the kind of partner for Power Bond, limiter removal, quick play spell card, one and only effect. Until the end of the turn, all machine type monsters on your side of the field's attack become doubled. All monsters that have this effect applied are destroyed in the end phase of this turn. Fair enough, fair enough. The classic. Ooh, I've heard a bit about this. This is one of the cards that people were worried whether or not it was going to be reprinted in this deck for being too strong. I don't know if it's been confirmed whether this card will be reprinted in the English deck. But just so you know, it is here. Lightning Storm. Normal spell card. Part of this name can only be activated once per turn. First and only effect. When no face-up cards exist on your side of the field, select one of the below effects and activate them. First possible effect. Destroy all of your opponent's attack position monsters. Second possible effect. Destroy all your opponent's spell or trap cards. Cool, cool, cool. Interesting way to fight back. I can see why people were concerned about the reprint value of this card. It is at least here. I cannot remember if it's going to be in the English release though. Done with the spell cards now it's on to trap cards. Cybernetic Revolution. This card can be searched with the previous card we looked at. It's Cybernetic. Cybernetic Revolution is also the name of a booster pack, with this illustration here just being Cyber End Dragon, because Cyber End Dragon was the cover card for that booster pack, the same way that Cyber Dark Dragon was the cover card for Cyber Dark Impact. So normal trap. Card of this name can only be activated once per turn. First and only effect. Tribute one Cyber Dragon on your side of the field and you can activate this effect. Special summon from your extra deck one fusion monster that uses Cyber Dragon as a fusion material. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's more broken than Cyber Dark Impact. Oh my god. The monster special summon with this effect cannot attack directly and is destroyed in the next turn's end phase. Interesting, but like that's not too bad, because as long as you can get Cyber End Dragon onto the field and then do some damage and then get into the graveyard, that just sets it up for Cyber Dark End Dragon. Good. Here's the other card that people worried whether or not it's going to be reprinted, and it is going to be reprinted. I've forgotten its English name, so it's going to be here. Oop. Anyway, it's got Cyber Dragon Nova, I believe this is, which is funny because that card has not been relevant in forever. Normal trap card. When no cards exist on the side of the field, you can activate this card from the hand. Oh, that's interesting. I like cards to do that. First and only effect. Target one face-up monster on your opponent's side of the field and you can activate this effect. Negate that monster's effect until the end of this turn. This set card was activated. Furthermore, for this turn, the spell or trap cards that exist in the same vertical line as this card are negated until the end of the turn. So basically, put this on the field. If it's on the field instead of your hand and you activate it, flip. Negate a monster's effect and also negate the magic or trap card on your opponent's side of the field that's in front of this card. Oh god, I forgot all about that sort of meta play. Interesting. No wonder people value this card so much. Well, now you can get this card easily from this deck, even in English. So isn't everyone happy about that? Oh, an actually really relevant card to the character that used Cyber Dragons in the show. Power Wall. Normal trap. First and only effect. Activate during the damage calculation of you receiving battle damage from your opponent's monster's attack. With each card being worth 500 points less, send from the top of your deck cards to the graveyard until the damage that you would take equals 0. So it's only in groups of 500. So if it's a little bit less than 500, you still have to send the card. But all the damage will be reduced to 0. You're just paying for it in cards that are worth reducing it by 500 each time. Very good, very deck destruction for yourself, and very much a thing that Kaiser would do. Right, Call of the Haunted. Everyone knows how this works, so I won't even bother. Bargestoma Canadea, what an awkward name. This is a card you see in all trap decks on Duel Links. At least it does look a bit Cyber Dragon-esque. First effect. Target one face-up monster in your opponent's side of the field and you activate this effect. Flip that monster face down. Basically like Book of Moon as a trap, but with further effects. Second effect. When a trap card is activated, chain to that effect using the effect of this card in the graveyard, and then you can activate this effect. This card is special summoned to the monster zone as a normal monster, water type, water attribute, level 2, attack 1200, defense 0. It is not treated as a trap card, so you cannot destroy it with cards that destroy traps. This card, special summoned by this effect, is not affected by the effect of monster cards, and when it is removed from the field, is removed from play. Interesting. So basically Book of Moon, but with more defense. Then at the end, we get our fusion deck here. A bit important, there's only 2 cards in it, but this is Cyber End Dragon. Oh, it's got 4,000 attack, not 3,000. I was misremembering. Silly me. When you put it onto the field briefly, it will do a little amount of damage, and even paying 300 life points to put it in the graveyard doesn't seem so bad right now. Made of 3 Cyber Dragons. Fusion summon of this card cannot be performed except with the above cards, except with all the other cards that bullshit it. First and only effect. This card does piercing damage. Very important for a guy this big. Also shiny. I can't remember what this rarity is called. This is called Normal Parallel Rare. I don't know if this will be present on the TCG release, but it's surprisingly nice here. Again, it creates a sort of laminated feeling. I like it more than certain star rares, etc. But Cyber End Dragon, in every deck. And the other cards, ooh, there's more than just one more. Chimera Tech, Over Dragon, Machine, Fusion, Materials, Cyber Dragon, and one or more machine monsters. So Chimera Tech Over Dragon does not need anything more than one Cyber Dragon, so getting materials removed from play with the other card actually is perfectly useful. Never mind that, never mind me. This card cannot be special summoned except by fusion summon. When this card is fusion summoned successfully, you activate this effect. This is compulsory. Send all cards on the side of the field except this card to the graveyard. Yep. Crazy. Second effect. This card's original attack and defense become the total number of monsters used for the fusion summon of this card times 800. Ridiculous, especially when you're combining a bunch of cards that you've possibly removed from play with that weird mechanical snake guy. Third effect. This card, in one battle phase, can attack up to the number of monsters used as fusion materials for its fusion summon. Ridiculous, and even that doesn't feel like the strongest thing in this deck anymore, but still really good to have, really generous to give you that card as well. And then finally we have Cyber Darkness Dragon. Cyber Dark Dragon is actually in the bonus pack here in different rarities. But Cyber Darkness Dragon, which is Cyber Dark Dragon with Cannon and Claw, as described as materials as Cyber Dark Effect Monster times 5, 2000, not very scary, but that's not the point of Cyber Dark Dragons. This card can only be special summoned from the extra deck by a fusion summon. Effect number 1. When this card is successfully special summoned, you can activate this effect. Take a dragon monster or a machine monster from your graveyard and equip it to this card. Second effect. This card's attack is increased by the attack of the equipped monster. Again, it doesn't become the original attack, it's increased by the attack. So even if you equip that bird dragon thing to this card and this thing's attack becomes 1000, that wouldn't be bad because it would still become 2500 and be able to attack twice. However, using that card for Cyber Dark Dragon normally is even better because Cyber Dark Dragon only has 1000 attack, so it makes no difference. Use it on a Cyber Dark monster, it makes no difference. Use it on a Cyber Dark Dragon monster, it makes no difference. In fact, on a Cyber Dark monster like Horn, it just makes it better. This guy, it's a bit of a trade-off. Third effect. When your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, you can send an equip card on your side of the field to the graveyard to activate its effect. Negate the effect of that activation and destroy it. Very interesting because not only could you use card equipped to this card, you could use a card equipped to another card. Cool. So, after having gone through all those, here comes the fun random time. This pack here has 5 cards in it, and it has all 5 of them. Don't worry, it comes with all of them. Cyber Dark End Dragon, Cyber Dark Dragon Normal, Cybernetic Horizon, Power Bond, and Overload Fusion. All important cards. However, some of them are ultra rare, some of them are super rare, and one of them is going to be secret rare. So it's basically just a game of which one is the secret rare for you. For me, I would either want the secret rare to be Cyber Dark End Dragon or Power Bond, because that seems the coolest, to be honest. But this bit is the bit of randomness for everyone, the bit of extra fun. The main deck, I believe, is 40 cards by itself. The deck is actually 43 cards, as you can see here, not counting these ones. But 2 of these cards are extra deck cards, and the other 3 are pretty needed. So this deck does actually become more than a 40 card deck, even by running Singleton. Interesting. But let us play the magical game. Let's get my trusty companion here, Scissor Boy. Snip, snip. Right, are you ready? Countdown. Right. Gonna see the first card up front. You ready? Boom. Here we go. Ultra rare Cyber Dark End Dragon. So in its normal rarity, we have it. This is made through Cyber Dark Dragon and Cyber End Dragon. This card can only be special summoned either through Fusion Summon or by the below method. The option here being you can special summon this card from the extra deck if you tribute a level 10 or below Cyber Dark Fusion monster on your side of the field that is equipped with Cyber End Dragon. Makes sense, as you can see here. This thing, by the way, becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 star monster, so maximum stars. 5,000, 3,800. Jesus. First effect. This card is not affected by effect your opponent activates. I'm laughing like this guy. Second effect. Once per turn, you can activate this effect. Select one monster from you or your opponent's graveyard. Equip that to this card. One monster. It doesn't matter what it is. Just one monster. No limitations anymore, boy. Third effect. This card, during one battle phase, can attack up to the number of cards equipped to this monster. Right, so this card's attack doesn't increase by things that are equipped to it, because the implication is that this is Cyber Dark Dragon with Cyber End Dragon equipped to it. So you don't need to worry about that. Not at all, because that is the combined stats, I believe. However, if you keep equipping more things to it, as if there are other things in this deck that you could equip to it, especially if you use that field spell, I believe, you could keep equipping things to this card and therefore attack multiple times in the same turn. Amazing. Amazing. Right, that is normal ultra rare, so we still don't know what our secret rare is. Boom! Oh my god, our secret rare is Cyber Dark Dragon. Okay, I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. Look at that boy. Look at him. Right, as you all know, 1000, Cyber Dark Horn, Cyber Dark Edge, Cyber Dark Keel. This card cannot be special summoned except by Fusion Summon. First effect, when this card is successfully special summoned, target a dragon type monster in your graveyard and activate this effect. Equip that dragon monster to this card. Second effect, this card's attack increases by the attack of the equipped monster and by the number of monsters in your graveyard times 100 points. Forgot about that bonus bit. Third effect, when this card would be destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, destroy the equipped monster instead. Real good, really simple, didn't have much support for it for a while, but now it has a bunch. This is fine as a secret rare, probably the most normal secret rare to get, but now on to the rest of the cards as we're out of fusion monsters, which does bring our total number of fusion monsters in this deck to 5. Goes super rare Cybernetic Horizon, and it is just the scene of the front of the box happening. This card's name is also treated as a Cyber Dark card, despite the fact it's Cybernetic Horizon, meaning you can search for it using cards that search Cyber Dark spells. You can only activate one card of this name once per turn. Turn you activate this card, you can only special summon machine type monsters from your extra deck. Effect number 1. From your hand and your deck, one each, send a dragon or machine type cyber monster to your graveyard and activate this effect. They cannot have the same attribute. Add from your deck a dragon or machine type cyber monster to your hand and send from your extra deck a machine type cyber fusion monster to the graveyard. Haha, haha, haha. Do you see it? Do you see what's happening here? Send things to the graveyard and then you send a fusion monster to the graveyard and then you can set up for this somehow. I mean, it gets rid of Cyber End Dragon, that's for sure. Actually, the usefulness of the first effect is probably in the last card in this pack, now that I think about it. We'll get to that in a second. Next card, super rare, Power Bond. Very simple, but also very important to both this deck and to GX, surprisingly. First effect of this normal spell card. Send from your hand or field to the graveyard cards that are listed on a machine type fusion monster then special summon that fusion monster from the extra deck. The attack points of the monster special summoned by this card's effect have their attack increased by the original attack of that monster. At the end phase of the turn you activate this card, you receive damage up to the increased attack of that monster by this effect. That means it's going to become doubled, and if you basically do not kill on that turn with that doubled effect, you're going to take that amount of damage yourself as punishment. So yes, very memorable card. And then the last card of this set, and possibly one of the most relevant, possibly the dark version of things like Power Bond, Overload Fusion, the natural partner to Future Fusion. As what you do with it is you remove from play monsters from your field or graveyard that are listed on a dark type machine fusion monster, and then you special summon that fusion monster from your extra deck. What people do with Fusion is that they would send the materials needed for a monster to the graveyard, and then without waiting for the next turn, use Overload Fusion to use those materials in the graveyard to special summon it a turn early. And then if you had another copy of it, you'd still get it the next turn anyway. But here it is in super rare. So it took quite a while, both time lag wise and for the length of this video, but we have covered Structure Deck Cyber Strike. It will not be as shiny probably as it is here in the English release, but I hope this gave you a good idea of what's going to be in it. On my channel, I cover OCG releases of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so if you're interested in other OCG releases, you can look forward to more. I also cover certain things like Gundam, so if you're into any of those things, make sure to stick around. I should have a video for other OCG releases ahead of their TCG companions, and very soon, videos of things like Duelist Pack Synchro Storm. Hope you enjoy this deck. Thank you for watching.